Hello and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about how to homeschool in the state of Vermont. And you can join the HSLDA website, which we're going to begin with, if you have any legal questions or legal concerns. And you can go to their website to see if there's been any changes or updates since I recorded this video. Right now it says that you must send a written enrollment notice to the Secretary of Education for each child every year, and it should include the name and age by year and month of each child, the names, mailing addresses, towns of legal residence, phone numbers of the parents and guardians, and assessment of progress for each child enrolled in homeschooling the previous year. And it will explain that down below what it means by that. Independent professional evidence on whether the child has a disability, and it talks more about that. Names, address, phone numbers, and signatures of all persons providing ongoing instruction in any required subject other than PE and health and fine arts. Signatures of all custodial parents or guardians who are legally authorized to make education decisions for the students. You have to submit a narrative, it says in quotes, which is a detailed outline describing the content to be provided in each subject area. If your child has a disability, include in the outline any special services or adaptations to accommodate the disability. And it says that's not required if you have completed 2 consecutive successful years of homeschooling, unless your child is 12 years old at the time the enrollment is filed. It doesn't say 12 years old or older, but I'm wonder if that's what it means. You have to obtain acknowledgement of compliance from the secretary upon receipt of your notice of homeschooling. The acknowledgement will state that your child may be enrolled in homeschool immediately or within 45 days after your receipt of notice, and that's something else you're going to want to put in your portfolio or your binder if you're keeping one, which I'm sure you are. I would probably keep 2, one for me and one for my students, because they make excellent keepsakes. And you're probably going to want to put things in your portfolio or binder as sample student pages that show a variety of skills or progressive work, and your students probably going to want to showcase their best work. And it's an excellent way for your students to look back on the school year and feel pride in their work. You have to teach the required subjects. It lists the required subjects. You have to assess your child annually, and it doesn't mean like it gives what it states what it means by the assessment, the annual assessment. It says you have to have a Vermont certified teacher, may write a report in a form designated by the secretary. And then it gives other ways that you can do that. And it talks about keeping a portfolio. And if you're keeping a portfolio, some of the things that you might want to keep in your portfolio or binder would be placement tests. If you take a placement test at the beginning of the year, to create a plan of what you're going to teach your students for the year, to see what they need to review or what place they're at or level. State homeschool laws printed out from the state's education site and the HSLDA and the date that you printed them, copies of any forms filed, a couple of calendars or attendance records. When you brainstorm to come up with your favorite resource list of websites or workbooks or field trips you plan to take, you're going to want to put that in your portfolio or binder. And then when you create your actual list of resources that you're going to use, maybe you're only going to use one online curriculum and one workbook with some other things. Maybe you want to put that in your portfolio or binder, and then maybe you want to look back on the one you brainstormed for second half of the year next year to see what your favorites were. Print out the contents from web pages like IXL, or where you're going to use a complete curriculum, and workbooks to show the curriculum and the list of activities. Sample student work, maybe just in my opinion, maybe 2 pages a week from each subject. And your child's probably going to want to showcase their best work, or you might want to show progressive work or a variety of skills. And progressive work would be like in English if you're writing an outline for an essay and then later you do the essay, or if in math, let's say you give them a test in multiplication to see how good they are at the beginning, and then a couple months later you give them another test that shows progressive work. Spelling quizzes at the beginning of the week and the end of the week. So if you go on field trips, you might want proof of the field trips you took, and you can get a leaflet or a flyer, put the date on it. You can take a photo of your child on the field trip. You can have your student write a paper about what was their favorite thing they did on the field trip, or what's something they learned on the field trip, or draw a picture and then write what a picture is about and put the date on it and mention the area you took the field trip. When you create a weekly schedule, you're going to want to put that in your portfolio or your binder, a daily log of activities, which would be like day 1, day 2, day 3, and then you put the day 1, the date, the time, the name of the subject, and then the activity that you did in the subject plus the name of the website or the book that your student was using. So, and then you want to do that, and at the last subject of the day, you want to put the begin time and the end time of that activity so that you can see what time school started and what time it ended every day. And you can write that in a notebook, and then you can type it up in a WordPad document and email it to you in case your computer crashes or something. You can print that out every now and then and update it and put it in your portfolio or your binder. If your student is doing self-evaluations telling you where they feel like they're excelling at, where they feel like they're struggling at, if they feel like they need more time to work in certain subject areas and they're creating self-evaluations, you might want to put that in there. If you're doing written assessments of your students, maybe here and there, and notes on what your observations are, and then maybe every subject every 6 to 8 weeks, and at the end of the year, make sure you put a positive spin. Hey, my student was struggling with reading and they were a bit behind, but they have such a positive attitude. And at the end of the year, you could put, my student was struggling in reading and they went up 5 reading levels, and I think it was because of their positive attitude and hard work. That way they can look back on that and they can take pride in their work. And I think it's important to have them help you create assessments so that you can put those in there. And if you give them yearly standardized tests, you might want to put proof of that in their scores in the portfolio or binder as well. If they do volunteer work, and you can maybe create certificates or get the people they do the volunteer work for to write something up, so you can put that in your portfolio or binder. Especially if they're going to go to college or join the military, you might want proof of that. If they take classes outside of the home, maybe swimming classes, martial arts, piano lessons, art classes at a local museum, you might want something written up or proof of that and put that in the portfolio or binder. Contacts with email addresses, phone numbers for the school or homeschool support groups. If you have them doing career study field trips, you might want to have them create a list of questions to ask the people. Maybe you're going to a local hospital to take a tour and talk to different people that work there and you've got permission, or a local hotel. And maybe you want to create a list of questions of the education people needed for the different types of jobs, their daily activities, and what kind of skills they need as far as planning and organizing and things like that. So you can put that in the portfolio or binder and see if you can record audio maybe or even video footage so that your students can use it to review and they can write a paper on it. And this might help them understand the education they need for the different careers, help them choose a career. It might even just help them with their interview skills and their communication skills later. And that's some of the things you can put in your portfolio or your binder. And then this mentions that parents may provide the complete results of standardized achievement tests, and it talks more about that, so you can read that. And you can go to that site and see if it's been updated. And this is an excellent site if you're at the beginning of the year and you're just going to give your student an assessment test. This is not a standardized achievement test. This is just a plain old assessment test, so you can see what level they're on to create a goal about what you're going to teach them during the year. And it has different ones. And there's different websites that have these. And so you can go here. And this is one of those tests right here. This one is a math test, so you can print that out and have your students do this, and you can see if they need to review something or if they're really struggling in an area and what level they're at, and or if they make simple mistakes, and you can go over that with them. I love this website because when you're brainstorming what you're going to need for homeschooling, what your favorite resources are, and you're trying to come up with how you want to organize the list, this is a great way to see how to organize the list. And it also helps you, maybe you're planning on taking field trips and it gives you ideas for field trips, so you can create a list of the field trips that you want your students to go on. Or maybe Wednesdays after school, Wednesdays the second half of the day, you want your students to take classes that are like 4-H classes or things like cooking or sewing or leather crafts or checking the oil on the car. It's different things they might want to learn about. You can list that here. If you're going to use board games, maybe Friday afternoon, you're going to use educational board games like chess sets or Yahtzee, Scattergories, Scrabble to help them with their education as part of their English or math. Or maybe they have ordered magazines and you're going to use those Friday afternoon on some days to read highlights or history or science type magazines, and that's going to be part of your Friday afternoon, so that you can create ideas from that. And then from this, you can also use this to create a schedule, and you can highlight the things you're actually going to use or create a separate list of the things you're actually going to use and have two lists in your portfolio or binder. Then you can look back at your favorites for more ideas if you need them halfway through the school year or next year. And this is a school attendance record, and you can see in the upper left-hand corner where I got it. And you can search for this, or can find free printed calendars, but I like the boxes. And you can use one, and you might want to print off two. One to put for the days that you think you might have school and field trips and holidays. And then another one for the days you actually have school, because even when you go to school, they have snow days and things come up. And this is IXL.com. It's not free. It's complete curriculum. I think it's like $20 a month. But what I like about it is how you can easily print out the complete curriculum, unless you want to write it up or type it up. But that way you can print it out and put it in your portfolio or your binder, and it's easy to do. And if you're doing your daily log of activities where you're putting like day 1 and the date and the time each subject starts and the name of the subject and the web page like IXL or the book, you can easily see what the activities would be, like even or odd or skip counting, so that you can write that down as the list of activities. And that's just an excellent thing to have years from now when you want to look back at the portfolio or binder to see what they did. And this is Khan Academy. It says it's free for everyone, every year, and everywhere, everyone, everywhere. And it starts from pre-K and goes all the way up to like college type classes and life skills. So maybe you're going to use IXL for math and Khan Academy for life skills and All-in-One Homeschool for reading. This is All-in-One Homeschool, and it is, right now it says it's free. They do take you to a site to try to get you to donate, but you can click cancel and get it for free. And they have like your daily activities, and you might go to other websites to do another website for reading and another one for math or games or things like that. So, and another one for history. And they do have Bible. So if you want to begin the day with Bible, I don't think it's in the daily tasks, but you can click on it and go to it separately if you want to begin the day with Bible, because it's your school and you can do that how you want to at home. So, and then I wanted to mention Schoolhouse Rock, which is not a complete curriculum, but it's a great addition to your school day. And maybe you heard of it, but didn't realize it covered grammar, science, economics, history, mathematics, and civics. And it covers, important things in those subjects to help you out. And it's fun. So they'll sing the songs, they'll memorize them, and they might remember them into adulthood. And I'll highlight this subject area where it shows they teach them the multiplication tables. Maybe you're cooking lunch and you want a break, or your students want a break, and they feel like they're not doing schoolwork because it's so much fun. And this is Grammar Rock, and it teaches about nouns and verbs and subjects and different parts of the speech. So, And this is something they use when they're younger. They use in middle school. They use in high school. They need to know this in college. So this is America Rock, and it teaches about American Revolutionary War and Declaration of Independence. And if you've ever seen those jaywalking comedy videos with Jay Leno where he goes around asking people questions if they know this or they know that and they don't, this is a great way to teach your students about some of those things. And they'll hopefully remember it. And this is Science Rock, and they also have Earth Rock, which is science. And you can see the different things they teach them. This is Money Rock that teaches them about finances. And this is Earth Rock, so you can see that. And I think it's an excellent resource for your students. And you can find these for free on YouTube. People created YouTube playlists, so you can go check those out. And this is ck12.org. And it might have full curriculum. I am not certain, but I know that it has some excellent things. So if you have a student and you're letting them pick some of the, maybe you have them following a routine schedule with math and English, but maybe you're letting them choose what they want to learn about other subjects so that the learning is more fun and more interesting. And then maybe you're letting them decide if they want to write a paper or if they want to draw a picture about the subjects that they're learning. And so you have them reading things. And this is an excellent website that has such a variety of things that they might want to learn about that might be interesting to them. So you can go to that website and see. This is underthehome.org, and it goes up to 5th grade, and then it has a list of a variety of subjects that they can go on and click on. And I will click on the kindergarten Mother Goose poetry, and I will click on the raindrop first lesson. So you go to it, and you can see the words on the left-hand side, and then there's a video on the right-hand side. So you can already see how user-friendly this is and how much fun it is. So that might be a great resource. PBS, and like I said, if you're letting your children choose some of the things they want to learn about, maybe Wednesday afternoons or Friday afternoons, and so you're looking for places that have a variety of things, even within the subject areas maybe. This is a great place to let them go and see what they have to offer, because it has so much to offer. So there might be different things that they want to learn about at this website. This is Best Adolescents, and I chose the one that had the spelling word list because you're always looking for spelling words. And you can choose the activities. Maybe they want to look up the definitions one day and write sentences the next day using the word, and maybe write synonyms the next day, and then you got quizzes during the week. This is a great way to find spelling words. This is an excellent resource for reading because it has about 5,000 books, and it's the International Children's Digital Library. And if they came out with different editions, they'll be here probably, and you can click on the book and you can click on reading it, and there's the book. So you can just click on the page, and you can turn the page to the right or the left in the upper right hand corner, and you can scroll down or zoom out however you want to do it. But it's such an excellent resource. And if you do take your students to the library, you can create a list of library skills that you want them to learn, and maybe get assistance from the librarian and give them a certificate of completion for doing that. This one is a UK website, but I love it because it has so much. It has free workbooks, not just one free workbook. It has a lot of free workbooks. So you can go here and get free course material that you can print out for your students. So it's a great resource for homeschoolers. And another thing is homeschool support groups. So maybe you have questions that you never thought you had, or maybe you want to go out and do field trips with other homeschooling families and you want your students to associate with other homeschool families. Maybe you want to go to the park and have picnics with them and see if they have any sort of outings. Maybe you want to donate books to other homeschool families that you've used, or see if other homeschool families have books that you can use. This is a great resource, and some of them are free and some cost money, and you can see the different areas that they cover and see if you're interested in that sort of thing. So that would just be a great idea. So anyway, I know Vermont is probably one of the a good states to have your students in school, but some people choose to homeschool. And if you choose to homeschool, I hope that this video helps you. And if you're considering homeschooling, I hope that this video helps you. Even if you're not homeschooling and you're just looking for other ways to teach your students to learn and to help them learn. So please feel free to leave comments. And I'm a small channel, so I appreciate every one of my viewers. Thank you so much for watching my video, and have a great day. Bye-bye.